1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rep them. 1. Hey, this is Chris Grayson with Urban Strength Institute. April 10th, so I'm in Chicago, and everybody's pretty much sheltering in place, so I'm filming this video real quick by myself since I'm the only one at my gym. What I want to talk about real quick is cable attachments. I'm 46. I've been working out since I've probably been, 15, 16. And back when I started, cable attachments were extremely basic. And anybody that's been working out for several years like myself, you probably know what I'm talking about. There wasn't a whole lot of innovation back then. And over the last, 10, 15 years, there's, the fitness industry with equipment has been very innovative, as they should be, and they keep coming out with better and better stuff. And with that being said, cable attachments have gotten significantly better too. And the thing is I started this gym in 2009. And when I started it, I didn't always have a big budget to buy, new equipment with, especially big pieces that cost a couple $1,000s. So what I would do, because I'm always trying to improve my training in my business when it comes to equipment and everything, I'm a big fan of equipment. So, a lot of people in this industry might just be a fan of the training aspect, but I have a huge passion for exercise equipment as well as the training. So what I would try to do is I would buy, a lot of smaller things because my budget couldn't afford the big things. So oftentimes it was new cable attachments. And a lot of times it's really easy for me, and I'm sure others can relate to this. I tend to downplay or take for granted what I know. So for me, with cable attachments, I would always think how much I loved improvements with, when you get better stuff, and didn't always ask people I would train what their thoughts were. I know that probably sounds strange, but lately I've been doing it, and what I found is that everybody is pretty much in agreement when it comes to attachments. When you have a better attachment, a cable attachment, let's say something like this right here, right? So when you have something better, a lot of times, if it's truly better, what you're going to find is you're going to have better ergonomics. It's just going to feel better in your hand. And, with the cable attachments, you're the first thing that you're attaching yourself to with the piece of equipment is your hand, right? Whether it be a curl, a tricep exercise, a pull down, your hand's the first thing attaching you to the piece of equipment. So if you can get something that's ergonomically better for your hand, a lot of times it's also going to improve the biomechanics of an exercise, because you're going to have a better position at your wrist, at your elbow, at your shoulder. And it's just, you're going to feel the muscles working better in an exercise. And when that happens, you can put more tension through a muscle. And when that happens, you get better results. So cable attachments are a big deal. A lot of times people only want to talk about, the big pieces of equipment. And you don't always see as much emphasis or as much attention on some of the smaller things, like the ones, again, like I just showed you. Something like this might only cost $60, not much of an investment, but it's going to make a substantial difference on certain exercises. So, I mean, talk about money well spent. That's phenomenal. And that's just one example. I mean, I have all kinds of weird stuff. Here's another cable attachment that is extremely good that Prime Fitness makes. They happen to make a lot of really cool cable attachments. So what I'm going to do, I wanted to talk about this real quick in a video. I think it would have a little bit more value than me just typing something up and putting it up on a blog in the written word as opposed to video. I have taken a couple real quick videos of a few people doing a few different exercises with some unique cable attachments. So I'm going to throw that in the video. If you're watching this video, you're already seeing that. And I just wanted to say a few things about that. Now, if you're a gym owner and you don't have a big budget, maybe you have I don't know, $200, $300, $400 a month. You could budget towards exercise equipment. One thing that is really valuable, like I was saying, is cable attachments. It can completely revamp or make an exercise significantly better. So that's something that I would highly recommend for anybody that owns a gym or just started and you have a small private gym. Look into that. So it can make a world of difference. If you don't have a gym, but you belong to, your typical membership-based gym and they don't have a lot of these cool handles, because that's the thing is, when you belong to a big gym, a lot of times the people buying the exercise equipment they really don't know that much about exercise equipment. It's not like the personal trainers or coaches there are the ones in charge of buying the exercise equipment, which they should be, because they're going to be the most knowledgeable when it comes to that. Oftentimes it's somebody in the management position, or they're going to call up an exercise company, and they're just going to have a list put together that the exercise company is telling them to get. And you're not always going to get the best stuff. So what ends up happening is I'll get a lot of people that'll come and train with me, and they've belonged to some of these, big conglomerate fitness membership-based gyms, and they'll always say, like, you have equipment that I've never seen before. And that's because, I do this for a living. I'm a coach, and like I said earlier, I love exercise equipment, so I'm always on the lookout for exercise equipment, whether it's small, like cable attachments, or it's big, where it's going to provide better ergonomics, better biomechanics, and you're just going to feel muscles work better, and obviously, and then get better results, like I said. So that's my thing. If I'm not thinking about my daughter or my family, I'm thinking about this. And if it's not the training, it's equipment, and I'm pretty much, I don't know, maybe a little bit obsessed with this, and that's a good thing. So that's it. Like I said, I got the real quick snapshots of a few people doing some exercises with some really unique cable attachments. And when people come here to train, they really take notice on some of the weird cable attachments that I have and how great they are and how much better they feel their muscles working. So I'll end with that, and hope everybody's good out there. Take care.